Something I'm still trying to get my head around is the pride of these Christians. Because, when we're out there telling them that Christmas and Easter are pagan traditions rooted in child sacrifice, and, that if you're following God, then you can have, or at least if you claim to follow God, you can have nothing to do with these traditions. And the Bible tells you that very, very clearly. Israel were kicked out of the land of their inheritance, which is even why, God's people are now scattered into the four corners of the world and, just surrounded by all of this degeneracy and sin. But, these Christians, when you tell them that they can't do Christmas and Easter because it's pagan, they'll turn around and they'll say, oh, well, look at this article where this guy states that Christmas isn't pagan and that, it's not the same as this Saturnalia that was thousands of years before. And, they'll show you all of these, external sources. And, for me, it's if you claim to believe the Bible and you've got a chapter like Jeremiah 10 that tells you not to learn the ways of the heathen, don't go into the woods, chop down a tree, bring it inside, nail it to the floor so it stands upright, and decorate it with silver and gold. The Bible says don't do that. Okay? It doesn't specifically say don't do this because it's Saturnalia. It doesn't say don't do it because it's this. It just says don't do it. Okay? So, yeah, in the time of Jeremiah, when he wrote that, Israel would not have been celebrating Christmas completely to a T the way that we are. They weren't listening to Mariah Carey 4,000 years ago. They probably, they probably weren't having a big turkey dinner or whatever you're going to have at Christmas. They weren't watching Elf and they weren't watching It's a Wonderful Life. It wasn't exactly the Christmas that you have now, but the fact is they were taking a tree from a forest, bringing it inside, decorating it with silver and gold, and standing it upright in their houses. And God says, don't do that. Now, when you do Christmas, you go and get a tree and you bring it inside and you stand it upright and you decorate it with silver and gold. Yeah, okay, you call it Christmas and these people back then might have called it something else. But you're doing the same thing. And God told you not to do that. And these people, they say, well, can you prove to me that Christmas is pagan? And I'm like, if Jeremiah 10 isn't enough, then you are just drunk on pride. And you're never ever going to receive any correction about anything. It's the first time I read Jeremiah, I was my jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe that the Bible actually was so specific in its description of a Christmas tree. It describes Christmas to a T. And God says, do not do this. Don't learn the way of the heathen. Don't do and Paul warns you as well in Romans 11, don't do what Israel did to be kicked out of the land in the first place. And here you all are doing that exact thing.